What's up my people, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video entirely on my experience in Thailand and also the reasons why I decided to actually leave after 2 months of being there. As you can tell, I'm not at home right now. I'm currently in my home country, which is Poland. I'm in a city called Kielce right now. I rented this Airbnb so I can just have a look around the place. I've never been here before and meet up with some people that I know as well. Which leads me on to the first and the most important major reason why I decided to actually leave Thailand. And that being is my family. You know, you always hear the saying family comes first, but not often we actually apply that in our life. And I felt that it was absolutely necessary for myself to see my family after 2 months of not seeing anybody, like my mom and my dad and my sister, etc. But then I decided to come here to see my granddad and grandma, who I haven't seen in ages, as well as my uncle. My parents were actually, they had already booked a flight to come here, so I just thought I'd join them on that journey, and it has been so amazing. I've been here for 1 week currently, probably going to stay for around another week before I head back to the UK. What does family mean to me? It means everything. So that's exactly why it was a good reason to come back. A certain someone said to me that one thing that you will really regret is not spending the time with your family, because you know, you can't get back time, and places like Thailand, Asia, all these beautiful places, I mean, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon, so I can always return. You know, life is all about choices, and sometimes you don't know what the right choice will be until you make it. That's why you just have to roll with the choice, and hopefully it's the best one for yourself. And I learned so many good things in Thailand that honestly, I'm just grateful for absolutely everything in my life. One of the biggest keys to happiness, I believe anyway. My second reason is actually, if you guys watch the channel, you realize that I was traveling with my friend. He fell in love, which is quite a funny story in itself, but it's great to see my friends happy. That is the most important thing after all, you know, so no hard feelings there. We just decided to part ways, as I had slightly different plans and, you know, he had slightly different plans, so we just thought we'd go different ways, and you know, sometimes that's how life works out, and that's also okay. It got a little bit lonely, so for me it is also a valid reason. And by lonely, I don't mean like I didn't have, you know, a good time or whatever, because I met so many great people out there. But I feel like the plan fell apart, which unfortunately kind of made me really think about things, and I just wanted to come back, recenter as well. Leading on to the third point, which is I just feel like I have so much work to do on certain aspects of my life that I just cannot fully focus in such an amazing environment. As bad as that sounds, that's me being brutally honest. You know, you're surrounded by beaches, by boat trips, by, you know, events, this and that, and it just wasn't really working out for myself. I was, I don't want to use the word procrastinating because it's obviously a life experience, but I wasn't entirely focused on the focus, if that makes sense. So I felt like coming back and getting into the swing of things, into the routine again, in a workflow, in a work state, you know, at my desk, at my place, will be the best thing for myself and my future, as well as I really want to push the content creation and get better. But in order to get better at it, I of course have to spend time, and sometimes the time just wasn't there because I was just busy doing this or that. It just felt a little bit all over the place, you know, so I just wanted to get that routine back. If you guys don't know, I actually picked up the camera for the first time before I came to Thailand and started filming, started shooting, learning to edit as I go, and you know, it's a long journey, it's a hard process, it does take time. It's something that I really want to focus on, see where it goes with that. Fourth reason is because my visa was running out. I had a 2-month, 60-day visa. Of course, yeah, you can get it extended, it's not an issue. They usually give it out quite easily if you pay the embassy. But I just thought, you know, my time has come. The flights were already booked, as you have to have a return flight. It also made sense financially. I didn't have to pay anything extra on top of what I originally paid. And I did look into options, as I was thinking to go to Bali or even stay in Thailand for longer. But it would have cost me like £600-700 extra just to do that, when that was like the original price of my ticket to go out to Thailand in the first place. So it didn't make sense for me, you know. I just get on the plane, see my family, do the things that I need to do, and then go back out whenever I feel. I just want to say a big thank you for every single person that I met out there, all the opportunities that were created, all the great memories, the experiences, just everything. I'm so grateful, honestly. I have never met so many good, positive people in such a short space of time in my life, which also plays a huge role in why I think traveling is, I don't want to say necessary for everybody, but it's something that people should experience and they should try, because you really learn a lot about yourself. Being stagnant in the same place, doing the same thing every single day, it takes its toll. You know, you just start questioning, is everything you're doing even worth it? you're seeing the same people on a day-to-day basis. And not to say that's a bad thing, but seeing new faces, looking at the different cultures, going on these amazing trips with random people talking about subjects that you wouldn't usually talk about is exciting. It's something that you can't really put a price on. I had a certain someone ask me on Instagram, well, what's the budget that you have for like going to travel? Like how much would it cost on a budget compared to not on a budget? And if I'm completely honest, I wasn't looking at how much money I would spend or what it would cost, because I knew that the experiences and memories would far outweigh any price, because you can't put a price on certain things. And nowadays everything's just so monetized, and you know, it's all about money. But really, modern day currency is time and energy. I felt like in the 2 months that I had there, I experienced like 5 years of my life. And I really, really mean that. There's so many things that I didn't know about myself that I learned, and now I can apply it in every area of my life in a good way. It's true what they say, that traveling changes you as a person, and I love to welcome change, because change is necessary to excel. How much do I think that you could get away with spending on a budget in Thailand for 2 months? Of course, I'm from the UK, so I'm going to talk about in GBP pound. And I think that if you were backpacking, which I didn't do, it was probably a mistake in terms of like getting around and stuff like that, because it became uncomfortable carrying this suitcase. By the end of the trip, my suitcase was weighing like 30 kg, so it wasn't very practical. But I do feel like I could have done everything so much cheaper if I knew and I had the experience, which is also another learning curve. You know, that's why it's so amazing, because you just learn things that you don't even think you're gonna learn, because oh, you already know everything, oh, I'm prepared. But really, you can never be prepared for what life throws at you. Honestly, you could probably backpack 2 months in Thailand, 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. If you're staying at the hostels that are like £7 to £8 a night, if you're eating the cheapest food, if you're really being careful with your money. And if you're not being careful with your money, I'd say you can spend like £1,000 to £10,000 a month. There's so many things there that do cost money as well, and I think that's a big misconception about Thailand. Is like, oh, it's so cheap. Yeah, it can be cheap, of course, but then it also can be very expensive. So it just depends what you choose to do with your money and how you decide to spend it. My advice to anybody who is willing to take the leap to travel, to experience new things, is to just go for it. Don't think about what could happen or any negative outcomes or whatever, because it's all positive. Either gonna fail, then you're gonna learn, like I did, for example. Like many things, they didn't really go to plan with my travels. And that's okay as well, because there's hidden blessings in every single failure. That's the kind of attitude I have towards everything now, is that it doesn't matter, the outcome completely doesn't matter, because you can control it. It's how you react to the outcome. So if you're even willing to do it, even if you have that thought, just like, I want to go somewhere, just go for it. People say life's too short, but also life's long. You're never going to get back the time that's already gone. So why not do what you want to do in the future, in the present especially as well. Just go for it. That's what I did, you know. I was so scared. I was like, oh, but what if this? I used to overthink about things a lot, but what does that really bring to the table? What does that give you? Nothing. And at the end of the day, the most spontaneous, the most random adventures, trips are the ones that are going to last forever, and they're going to teach you the most things. If you're scared to do something, that probably means it's the right decision. The only way you can see an outcome is by doing it, being in the moment. The saying, to change the world, you got to start with yourself, and that's exactly what I did on my travels. I had a lot of problems within myself. Well, that's how I felt anyway. I felt that there's so many areas I can work on, and the best way to do that is to just completely leave UK. Honestly, I can truly say that I found myself, maybe not to the full extent, definitely a lot more fulfilled in my life, because the little things, the smallest of things, make me happy now. And I think that just means everything. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, for taking your time. I'd be really, really grateful if you can subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and even comment down below. Yeah, see you soon guys.